Blackout's Roaring Skies update added a few new guns and also did a lot of rebalancing of guns in the game already, and I feel like I wanted to make a tier list of all the guns in this new update to show which ones are good and are not. I will also be adding a twist to all of this and add a little bar next to the gun showcase to see if I recommend it for hard rates such as way defense or access denied. Now without a further ado, let's get into the ranking. Words cannot describe how shit this gun is. This gun is so bad that the recent update that added the Galil nerfed it. Why did this gun get a damage nerf? This gun was so bad it didn't need a nerf. But what makes it bad is not the damage, but the fact that the splash on this gun is non-existent, which for an explosive weapon is sad. And second, what makes this thing so god awful other than its price of $7,500? Is that like other explosive items in this game ragdolling you and such, but the M79 doesn't even ragdoll for a second even when directly shot. This gun is piss poor garbage, and not even the flashbang shot can save it, cause a normal flashbang cost less than the entire gun. If you're gonna buy this gun, you're just better off buying normal grenades and flashbangs, because they are way better and so much cheaper. This one was pretty obvious, since it's the only gun you can buy when you start the game. This gun feels weak, but it can also kill really fast. If it's an unarmored target, there's really nothing much to say about this gun other than it having less range than the tactical knife. Like, if you want to kill something or someone with this gun, you gotta be right up in their face and pray you don't miss at least one pellet of the gun or you won't kill anything. I guess the pluses of this gun is that it's cheap as hell and you can carry two. But since this game is a looter shooter, you can just find a better gun in a dumpster. The Glock 18 is a cheap high fire rate gun that can melt anything you pointed it at. But wait, isn't that all good things about the gun? Well, that when all the positives stop for this gun, cause for it being a cheap high fire rate comes at the cost of having worse damage than the damn flare gun. Sure, this gun can shred up close and kill a person, but it can only kill one person per mag, and for a game where you will have multiple people rushing you at a time constantly reloading just to miss your entire mag at a wall isn't worth the effort. It has one shot and it's 3k. To refill, you'll only ever be using this thing to kill a gang of people or an operator, but probably not an operator, cause there are much easier ways to kill one. There's just something about the Uzi that makes me think, why does no one use this gun anymore? Could it be that it does subper damage? No, not that. Could it be that it has 8% armor pen and can barely kill someone in heavy tac? No, not that either. Could it be its price and that our MP5 is $500 more but 1000% times better? Wait, I know why. It's because they removed it having 40 bullets in the mag. If you're thinking of buying an Uzi, just go for an MP5, it's just much better. This gun is really clean and simple and good at what it's meant to be, a gimmick gun. And what I mean by it being a gimmick gun is that it's only good at killing operators that are standing still for too long and nothing else. The Mach 11 just feels like the older brother of the Glock 18, in which it is better in every single way compared to the Glock 18. It has decent damage and good recoil, and it's also cheap and small as well, making it just a better option than the Glock 18. But also, like the Glock 18, it sucks from any long ranges. The GL is good for support and that's really it. On the surface it does good damage with its explosive and incendiary shot, and it can ragdoll players unlike the M79, so that's a plus. The smoke shot is alright too sorta, but this gun is good all around. But the only problem I have with this gun is that it's super fucking expensive. 9k to purchase, and its refill is like 1k or something, which makes it this low on the list. But if you have never ending amount of cash at your disposal, this is a pretty good choice to annoy the hell out of players. The FAMAS just feels really off to use, like it just doesn't feel fluent with the combat of this game. It's got decent stats and a reasonable price, but I just feel like it being a burst gun holds it back so much, and the bullet velocity for this gun is also too slow for a burst rifle, but it's not that bad of an option, but I'll just never use it when there's better options. This gun feels so underpowered, like I feel like it should be doing more damage than it should now, but the only saving grace this gun has is it's a shotgun with 10 bullets in the mag. And when you combine it with Dragon's Breath rounds, you get the closest thing to a flamethrower we will ever get. I'd also say it's decently priced as well, but the damage and damage range hold this thing back so much. The Glock 17 is not that horrible. I'd say it's really fucking good for how cheap and accessible it is. Like seriously, loot any lootable source out in the world, you'll always find a Glock 17. And it does decent damage for being a gun you can unlock for the first hour of playing the game. Overall, there's nothing bad about this gun other than its damage and armor pen. But overall, it's not bad of a choice for most encounters. I feel like the M1911 is a underrated gun for how much it can get done for being really cheap too. I also feel like it having 11 bullets is outrageous, but I'm not complaining. This thing is so good for how much damage it does, and its armor pen, not a bad choice for a secondary. The UMP45 isn't a bad gun in any way, it just made it here cause I feel like there are better options than it that are cheaper. It doesn't do all terrible damage, and has decent armor pen, but it just doesn't feel that good to use in my opinion. I feel like it has to lower fire rate, and to higher recoil, but still it's a decent gun with decent stats to it, so I'd say it's up to standards. The crossbow is kinda a highly underrated gun for the amount of damage it can do in one shot. Like 75 base damage, and 110 headshot, and the shot has bleed as well. And, not only that, its incendiary shot is really fucking overpowered at catching people off guard, cause with the shot not only setting them on fire to take constant tick damage, it also slows them down by like 50% speed, which means if you shoot someone with one incendiary shot you basically got a free kill. And the stun shot is kinda not good though. But the crossbow is up this high still cause it does kinda feel like a situational gun to use, since it's only one shot in it at a time, and is slow to reload, and plays out more of like a support gun. Every time I get this out of a contraband crate I get filled with joy and happiness than just sadness and dread. This gun feels so weird for the sake of it being weird. It's not the recoil, it's fine. It's not the damage in pen on it is really good. I just feel that it shouldn't have been a contraband weapon. Like it feels more it should be a weapon you unlock around the level 40 area. So I'm sad when I get one cause I could have gotten something better out of the crate, but also happy cause this gun is so fun to use. The Roaring Skies update really nerfed this gun badly, making it a lot harder to control and use. But even if you're good enough at the game to use this gun, literally you will still be better off using any other AR in the game, because they're way easier to control and do more DPS overall. But the AK still is not a bad gun to pick. It's just gonna be hard to use it from anywhere that is not CQC. There's really not much that I can think of when it comes to this gun other than it's just a early game sniper you use till you've got the AWM unlocked, but even after that it's still a really good hard hitting gun besides its slow reloading time. But for 3k, this gun is kinda a powerhouse. The G3 got pretty nerfed as well in this update, but still doesn't mean that this is a bad gun now, because even with its 5-second reload it's still a shredder type gun from all ranges. But where I feel this gun shines is still from long range for its good damage drop off. Like this gun really doesn't start losing major damage until like 300 meters away, which is outstandingly good. Okay, we're now at the top 10 guns. These are the guns that you should be using always, and are basically better than the rest in all the categories, so without a further ado let's start with number 10. The Deagle is a cheap gun under the 2k price range that does great fucking damage with having 8 bullets in its mag, and it having 60% armor pen, and doing 63 headshot damage. Basically makes it a 2-tap from all ranges if you're hitting headshots. The AWM I'd say is the most skilled gun in this game, but even then, this gun is really strong with it basically one-shot headshotting anyone from any range, which makes this gun really good if you know how to use it. The Gallon is a new low-level assault rifle that got added in a recent update to the game. And holy shit, I thought this would be bad cause of the low-level assault rifle tag on this gun, but this gun clears it out for the ballpark for being just a baby G3. But in my opinion it's better in every way than the G3. Sure, you traded sorta low damage in for it, but in return you get a decently cheap gun with a fast reload for what it is, the same armor pen as the G3, better recoil, and a overall better weapon. PK 500 is perfectly balanced. 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 It'd be a understatement to say how good this gun is, because it's just too good for being a level 10 gun for the price of 1.8k. It has really low recoil, good damage, decent armor pen, and surprisingly not that much damage drop off. This is like the perfect gun for one-on-ones, and I'm surprised too for how high it made it on this list. It's a weapon you'll always be using, I do say. I don't know what they did this update, but they made the TAC-14 such an overpowered grub gun. The amount of times I died to a naked man with nothing but a TAC-14 on him is more than I can count. It's so good that it actually annoys me how good it is. Yet I still don't see many people use it often, when like 1 or 2 shots with it up close can kill a person. The Scar 17 is just so much damage in a 2-second reload. Like, I'm not kidding, this gun reloads in 2 seconds. And for how much damage it can do, it is worth its fucking price at 6k. It's really good for everything. Only downside it has is its high recoil, but all the positives of this gun makes the negatives look like nothing. The M401 is just a laser gun in this game. For having like no recoil, good damage, and armor pen, it's the perfect gun to get those cross-map beam clips that people like to put in their compilations so much. It is the best gun for anyone's termination. I swear this gun possibly has the highest DPS out of all the guns for how good it is. This one might confuse some, but let me explain. Yes, it's a level 50 gun that can't be pre-purchased. Yes, it does also cost 8k, but 45 base damage, 80 headshot damage with 80% armor pen makes this thing a damn killing machine to everything you look at. It'll shred people in operators, it'll shred NPC operators, it'll kill everything in that one mag if you land your shots right. And now for our number 1 spot, it goes to I feel like for some this being the best gun isn't that much of a surprise, or maybe it is if you really haven't used this gun much, but if you have used this gun you will understand why this gun is in this spot. The downside of it is that it's a contraband weapon, but when you get your hands on this gun you can cause so much damage with it. It will one-tap everything in your way. Even if they have heavy tack, hell, this gun can one-tap someone in heavy tap from 20 meters away. With this gun you basically have 4 one-shots in one mag. The damage on this gun is so high you can still do somewhere around 20% health from someone that is 100 meters away. Not only that, it's probably the best weapon to kill player operators other than the accelerator. With it having the highest damage out of all the guns, this is why the KS-23 is the best gun in the game. So yeah, that's my tier list. You can go ahead and go in the comments to yell at my tier list to say it's good or the worst take you've ever heard. I don't mind, and if you made it all the way to the end, why not subscribe for more slop content like this maybe? And remember, this is just all my opinion, and you can feel free to disagree.